Tennessee Tech head coach Dewayne Alexander. The Golden Eagles, 2 wins in a row now. They had a non-conference game at North Carolina Central, came out on top there. They're going to be back in the action when they travel to Nissan Stadium and take on Tennessee State on Saturday. So, Coach, just some thoughts on your team, and then we'll get into questions here.
Very proud of my team, very proud of our staff and team. Tough road trip to North Carolina Central. It's about a 7-hour bus trip, and kind of rained, and one of those deals had weather issue, the whole game. But there's a lot of things when you go play on the road. It's an unfamiliar place to us. We'd never been there, so you're not sure about the locker room. You're not sure about a whole lot of things, when you get there. And I thought our guys handled that very well. We had a team meeting right before we left the hotel just to make sure our guys understood, hey, don't let your circumstances keep you from reaching your goals. And the bottom line with that's day to day, that's life, that's everything. But in this particular case, we were there to win the football game. And so let's not let some of the things that could happen. We knew there could be some weather delay situations. We may have to sit in the locker room for a while. We really didn't know, until we got over to the stadium, how that was going to be. It actually had rained like 4.5 inches in the Raleigh area, close to us. And it rained heavy all morning, kind of cleared off for the game. But bottom line, our guys handled all that very well. So we got to bring some energy. There's really 3 things I felt like were going to be key to the game. We need to keep our composure and handle all the things that go with traveling and playing at a place you've never been before. We needed a big special teams effort in this game. I felt like that's something that we were due. I felt like we were close to doing some really good things on special teams and finally getting things settled with our personnel there. We kind of had some issues out of our control the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season in regards to special teams personnel, but we have our personnel settled and felt like we could do some things in the special teams game. And that was those were all big to me, and we did. We started the game with a block punt. We started the game right out of the gate. We had stopped them on their first drive. We blocked the punt and got the ball all the way down to the 1-yard line. Offense goes in and scores, puts us up 7-0. And really from there, it really got our team going. The big third thing I said is we got to bring some energy. We got to bring our own energy. There won't be a lot of folks here. Our crowd, our fans aren't able to travel all the way over there, very much. So we did a nice job of all 3 of those things. We did a good job keeping our composure, special teams, and, bringing some energy to our sideline. And, offensively, we had 2 nice big drives in the first half. Defense played outstanding. It was a 21-3 ball game, for the longest there until well into the third quarter. So, we got some really solid effort from all 3 phases. We were good in the return game. We had 4 punts down inside the 15-yard line. We really have not had very good field position in our first 5 games of the year. So to have good field position was awesome. So, the thing we're excited about is we played 6 ball games, and really the way our conference and everything shakes out with all the league games being here on the back end of the schedule, we still are 100% in control of what happens to us. We really don't need any help. We just need to win ball games 1 week at a time. We got less than 40 days of guaranteed days left of this 2021 season. That's hard to believe. We have 5 football games left. 4 of those are conference games. All of our Sergeant York trophies are ahead of us starting this weekend. It's both. It's a Sergeant York trophy game and it's an OVC conference game. So it's a big game for us. It's a big game for TSU. I told our team from the way we started to be in a position, our win over SEMO was huge. And I think they gained confidence to see that SEMO, rallied and went on the road, and beat Austin Peay. I think lets us know we beat a good football team and that we've got a good football team. You can't worry about what happened in those first few games. There's a lot of teams around the country that would like to have played 6 ball games right now and still have a chance and opportunity to compete for a conference championship in postseason. We feel that we do, but we've got to string together some wins here. And the only one that matters right now is this one with TSU this Saturday. We know it will certainly be a challenge traveling to Nissan Stadium to play those guys.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to some questions. Mike, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Ben.
Okay. This is going to be a big week for me, getting to see Dewayne Alexander twice in a 3-day span, Saturday and Monday at our FCA thing, right?
That's right. Correct.
Okay. Eddie George mentioned earlier, Coach, about seeing you guys, not he, but TSU seeing you guys in the spring and then already again here, which is so unusual to play twice in a calendar year.
Right.
What do you see different? I don't know how much you've delved into TSU, but how different is this team from the team you saw in the spring?
Well, I mean, there's some new personnel. There's some personnel carryover. Obviously, schematically, it's a whole new staff. A whole new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. So, and what you can see in the TSU team is, they have put in a new offensive system. Even though some of the plays are still the same, some of the issues are, for players is the nomenclature is different. How they call it, what they say, and I've seen improvement in this team every week. I see a team that is growing. I see a team that is improving. It's awfully hard to come in. Those Coach George and his staff did not get to coach those guys in the spring, so they didn't get them until this summer, and fall preseason camp. And from their Grambling game to where they were at Austin Peay, they have gotten better every week. You can see the players are more confident in what they're doing. They're more, they understand their system better. They're executing better. Very good football players on both sides of the ball. You can see they're settling into what and two, as a coach, and I've been there taking over programs numerous times, you're trying to learn your team. You're trying to learn the strengths of your team, weaknesses of your team. What can our guys do really well? What do they not do so well? Really don't know that until you get to watch them play some, and evaluate it. You can tell they got tremendous coaches on their staff. You can tell they've evaluated what they do and they've improved, every week. I've seen them get better every week. And so that's the biggest difference I see, Mike, is, a team that has, a new scheme, but they are getting settled in. And I think the coaches are learning the players and players learning the coaches, and they're making strides and improving every week. And they're playing very hard. I love how they're playing. They're playing with, some enthusiasm and energy. I know I saw where Eddie showed them a fight film. I may break that thing out, the Thomas Hearn film. I may do that before we go down to Nissan. But, those guys were playing to go into Austin Peay. That's not an easy place to play. It's always been close games there. They had a huge crowd, and TSU went in there and really took the fight to them, played hard. And you see a team that's playing hard and improving every week.
Maybe the biggest difference throughout the season has been the play of the quarterback on offense anyway. And so that, I guess that'll be the biggest difference. You saw a different quarterback. You're going to see a team that can now throw the ball a little bit along with running it as its base on offense.
That's right. And have the dynamic that the quarterback can run the football as well. That's another thing as well. But again, I think that's part of what I just said earlier. I think they're learning their quarterback. What does he do well? What can he do good? What does he throw well? What do we need to do to take advantage? Because he is a very good football player. And boy, he had a really good football game, the last time out. They've had an open date, that allowed him to really, I think, hone in on some things and settle into what this is who we are. This is what we're going to be down the stretch. We need to execute these things. And very similar to us, that's where we've been. We played 3 different quarterbacks, and different circumstances and injuries have caused that, but we've settled in here. We had Willie Miller got to play the entire game, this past week, and all 4 quarters. I think he's going to learn a lot from getting to play a 4-quarter game. He only played half against SEMO, and same thing with us. We got to try to play to our strengths and what we do well. And I see TSU doing the same thing with their quarterback.
How big is that, Dewayne? For my final question, to have a quarterback. Now, I know everybody, the rotating and all that. A lot of places do that or try programs, but to just have one guy finally settle in, how significant is that?
It's huge. And I do, and I really do believe this. I've coached every sport. I'm a fan of all the sports. The most important position in sports is the quarterback. Period. You look at the NFL. The year Peyton Manning was injured and was out, I think they won 1 or 2 games. The whole year. You look at what Tom Brady has done for the Buccaneers. That position. That one position can elevate a team. And it's the difference in winning and losing ball games, especially close ball games, and having somebody that, that steady person, at that position, it is key. And we've had we've had a lot of injuries that have caused ours. Ours have been caused more by injury than they have anything else. And, some people, I guess, can operate under a 2-quarterback system. I've only done that once in my career, just a little bit, but it does mean a lot when you have that guy that everybody knows is the guy. He walks into the stadium. He sits on the front of your bus. Joe Paterno used to had the quarterback rode on the front seat of the bus with him from the hotel to the stadium. Always did. He was always the first guy off the bus along with the head coach. And, I've heard the old saying, there's really 2 guys that can't have a bad day, a practice or a game, and that's the quarterback and the head football coach. And I agree with that. I think you've got to have you look at good quarterback play, steady quarterback play, consistent quarterback play, and that person that everybody looks to. When you have that position and you have that solidified, you always have an opportunity to win a lot of football games.
Ben, we'll go to you for your questions.
Coach, you've talked about it every week, but it's your first Sergeant York Trophy game. Just talk about what it has meant to your team to have that trophy at Tennessee Tech, and how are you guys ready to defend it?
We are ready to defend it. I got that sitting right on the front of my desk. All right. I keep it close by. That's the copy you get, for just having won it that you get to keep permanently. But the big one's out there in the trophy case. And like I told our players, I hope it gathers dust. I mean, that's what we want it to do. We want it to sit there and have to get it out and dust it, every so often. Again, it's something you're playing for, the OVC, something established, a long time ago. And, we've got good teams competing for it, and, certainly an honor to compete for it. And, again, I think, our goals every year as a team and say we win the Sergeant York Trophy, because I feel like if you win the Sergeant York Trophy, it puts you in the hunt for the OVC championship. You're not going to win the OVC championship. It'd be hard to win the OVC and not win the Sergeant York Trophy. It'd be almost impossible to do. You're going to have to take care. You got three, really good football teams within your state. UT Martin, who is ranked right now outstanding, always good with Jason Simpson and his bunch. Austin Peay's been outstanding since 2016. TSU's always TSU outstanding program. So if you can, come with a winning record and have success against those teams, it puts you in a position to be successful in the within the OVC. So it's important for us, and in particular importance. I mean, Alvin York, an Upper Cumberland native from up here in Pall Mall in the Jamestown area, York area. That's big for us. So it's something that we're playing for, and we're excited about it, and excited about keeping it. And know that this game is the first leg, and us having an opportunity to retain it.
And Coach, I know this wasn't an OVC game that you won this last week, but how important is it for your team to string together some wins, keep some momentum going?
Winning is you don't get but get 11 guaranteed opportunities. You have 365 days in a year. That's what makes football unique. I tell our players, and I've said this all the time, we don't get a best of 3, a best of 5. Hey, we'll get them when we go to their place, or that type of thing. You don't get a postseason tournament. You don't get all these different things that happen. I mean, you get them one time, you get to play a game one time, whether it's raining, not raining, your bus breaks down, whatever it is, you get one chance and to play a college football game, a week, and you only get 11 guaranteed opportunities. So some years it's 12, but that's all you get. So you need to make the most of them. And so a win for our program, especially the way we started, but anytime you can go and win a college football game against a very good opponent, an FCS opponent. North Carolina Central had beaten Alcorn State on a neutral field, early in the year. They've got an athletic, good football team. Coach Oliver's, I really was impressed with him and the character of his staff and team. And so it's a big win for us. We went on the road and won an FCS football game, and that certainly gives us a lot of confidence. After having a really good second half against SEMO, I felt like we played a good half in that game as a team. I felt like we probably played 3.5 quarters as a team, like I would really like to see us play against North Carolina Central. And we certainly feel like if we can put together some 4-quarter games here down the stretch, why not the Golden Eagles? I mean, I think the Golden Eagles, you look at the OVC standings right now, there's not a whole lot of wins and losses by either team. It's wide open for everybody, and everybody's still got to play everybody. So, we feel good about our chances and excited about the opportunity that we have.
I got one more for you, Coach, and we'll let you go. Talk about Hayden Olson, who made a pair of 46-yard field goals. You'll have not had a lot of field goal opportunities this year. It seemed like he really came through for you to help extend the lead.
I even made his efforts on the day more impressive. Kyle, is what you just said. He really had not had a chance to kick a lot of field goals in games this year. And these were in the fourth quarter, in a 21-10 ball game, and we were able to knock through 2 46-yard field goals and back-to-back 46-yard field goals. And also, they were into about a 10-mile-an-hour wind, and it was raining, and everything else. So, I mean, they were under tough conditions, and they were clutch. They were big field goals that really put the game to where, especially the last one, put us up 27-10 when they got the ball back with 2 minutes left. Really all we had to do was, just bleed the clock, as far as that goes. I think they scored with 7 seconds left, or 6 seconds left, but we will really put the game out of reach there at the end. So, very impressed with him. Hayden Olson's a 4.0 student. He's the first one at practice, last one to leave, outstanding young man on campus, community service, you name it, that they don't get any better than him. So for him getting a recognition like that, you can't recognize a student athlete any more impressive than Hayden. And we're very fortunate to have him.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck Saturday, and then we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, Mike, I'll see you, brother. Appreciate you.
Good luck this week. I'll see you Saturday.
Thank you. All right.